We are back with another news video, and it is where we kick off with a news about WWE 2k23, as WWE 2k23 is a trailer, I would assume, is set to be revealed at the Royal Rumble on January 28th, according to reports. But there are now rumors from a data miner within the Xbox community that WWE 2k23 could be released on March 17th, which goes along with around the same date of release for WWE 2k22 for the past before WWE took a year off with their gaming releases. The WWE games were a traditional fall release, and last year it was the first time that I can remember that WWE released a game in the spring, and it looks like WWE is sticking with the WrestleMania season release of their next installment, which would make sense, and actually I think makes a lot more sense releasing the game around WrestleMania than releasing the game around in the fall when interest in WWE may not be as high. So if WWE 2K23 is set to be released in the spring, I am sure that we will probably find out, much like with The Rock, we will probably find out about that in the coming week. More information in that regard. But also, the rumor does further say, or further point to the idea due to P&Gs with the rumor, that John Cena could be the featured athlete for WWE 2K23 this year. Not just John Cena being the cover athlete, but also John Cena being the person focused on in showcase mode, much like Rey Mysterio was in this game, which I think would be very interesting because, well, then you can retrace John Cena's career from start to finish, much like you did with Rey Mysterio this year. And it would be very interesting to be able to do matches including, John Cena's matches, career highlights, I should say, which include matches with Edge, Edge, Kurt Angle, maybe CM Punk, Randy Orton, etc. There's a lot of career highlights and a lot of interesting matches worth revisiting with John Cena, so it would be an interesting turn of events if John Cena does in fact become the featured athlete in showcase mode this year for WWE 2K23. But that is, of course, something that we will have to revisit as we get closer to the Royal Rumble and the rumored release of the trailer for WWE 2K23. There's other news that we're going to be getting to at the end, and I'm going to be saving for at the end. But we do have other news to get to first, and that is Mickie James has an opponent for Impact Wrestling's next pay-per-view event, No Surrender, in February. Mickie James will face Masha Slamovich for the Impact Wrestling Women's Knockouts Championship. And it does, according to my estimation, it does seem as though Mickie James is in fact putting her career on the line in the women's, in the Knockouts Championship matches for the future. So it may not be every match that Mickie is in, but every title defense that Mickie has may in fact be for her career and not just for the championship. So that does add an interesting nook, because the fact of the matter is, not only will her challengers then have the opportunity to become Knockouts champion, but also her challengers will have the opportunity to become the person who officially retires Mickie James from professional wrestling. The one thing that is worth noting, though, is the fact that I do believe that if Mickie James does lose, that she will in fact retire from professional wrestling, and it will not be one of those cases of her just retiring from Impact Wrestling. I think it will be her retiring in general, because I don't feel like they would have made a big deal about this the way they have, or that Mickie would not have gone the route that she did if it was just something that was her way of stepping away from Impact and not wrestling as a whole. So props to Impact Wrestling for investing the way they have in the last rodeo for the hardcore country girl. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was that Tony Khan has went on record in speaking with Dave Meltzer to say that the Briscoe brothers were supposed to be were going to be a featured part of Ring of Honor in 2023, and Tony still does have every intention of honoring the Briscoes in 2023. And Tony did push multiple times for the Briscoes to be featured on AEW programming, but Warner Brothers Discovery did not, or blocked that opportunity, or blocked that decision to include the Briscoes in some form on Impact Wrestling. On AEW programming, because of past social media posts on the part of Jay 10 years ago that Jay has on more than one occasion apologized for. But Warner Brothers has more than once blocked Tony's attempts to include Jay. Warner Brothers did actually block the... Tony Khan had the intention of running a similar tribute show, from what I understand, that they had for Brody, for Jay on Dynamite last week, but Warner Brothers blocked Tony's ability to do that, so that's why Tony did the Ring of Honor taping after the fact, because of the past indiscretions from Jay Briscoe and the social media posts from 2009, 2010, that Jay has went on record multiple times apologizing for in the years that followed. And I will sidetrack for a second, and we'll get back to that in just a minute. That I'm not going to comment on that situation. It is more just honoring Jay Briscoe, and I want to just say I offer nothing but the utmost respect to Tony Khan for how he's handling the situation, and the fact that I firmly believe that Tony will go above and beyond to honor Jay in some form or fashion, and honor the Briscoes in some form or fashion, as we look forward and try and move past what has been a very difficult week for wrestling fans and the wrestling world as a whole. As of right now, Jay's daughters, who were in the car, are still going through surgery and are still recovering from the accident. I wish nothing but the best to Jay, his family, and I pray that his daughters are able to recover 100% from the injuries they sustained in the accident, and that they can start recovering from the accident. I will put a link to a fundraiser that they are having for Jamin Pugh and his family. If you or if you just want to spread the word about the fundraiser, if you want to donate, whatever the case is, feel free. It will be down in the description and also in the comment section as well. So feel free to follow the link, and if you can, if you do, either way, I will likely donate, but do not feel obligated. I will just do it out there because even if I don't end up donating, I do want to just spread the word about the fundraiser. But just to sidetrack away for a second from the Jay Briscoe stuff, Naomi is said to be returning and has been having positive discussions with WWE about a return, and it is likely that Naomi will be returning very soon. But the WWE source that went on record saying that did not provide a timetable on the expected return of Naomi. There are heavy rumors that Naomi could be returning as a surprise in the Royal Rumble, and that would be a feel-good story, as Naomi has been gone since May when her and Sasha Banks walked out. But if I can offer any advice, if I can offer anything as a way to move forward, hug your family a little bit tighter tonight. Tell those close to you that you love them. Do not hesitate if you're thinking about calling somebody or texting somebody or getting in contact with somebody, because life is delicate and everything can change in an instant. Again, we wish nothing but the best to Jay Briscoe, his family, and friends as they struggle to get through what has been an unimaginable tragedy that we will feel the effects to for months and years to come. And Ashley, Jay's wife, has went on record saying through a mutual friend, or through a family friend, thanking the wrestling world for their thoughts and prayers. And we continue to echo the sentiments of my fellow news reporters and wrestling media, saying we wish nothing but the best to Jay and his family. With that being said, I will see you in the next news video. Or I will see you in the next video.